excess work happening in the muscles. Perhaps it's in the shoulders. We're holding our shoulders. We could soften. Perhaps it's in the jaw. We're clenching in some way. We let it just relax. Perhaps it's in the forehead. We're sort of cinching up the forehead. We can soften that. And this idea that relaxation, many of us think of that word and we think of a downward trajectory in the sense of when I relax, I sort of slump down maybe. But think of it from middle out. So when you actually relax from the middle of your arm or the middle of your torso, you actually expand. There's actually more space. When you release the grip and hold, there's more space between every joint. There's space between the layers of tissue from your skin to the next layer, then the next layer below that. There's all these little sub layers, but between them all, there's fluid, there's space, there's blood flowing, lymph flowing, interstitial fluid flowing. So as we relax, we actually make room for that which flows to flow. And the breath, of course, you are breathing, but just watch the breath with a little more curiosity and interest. Notice you have the option to elongate your next inhale, take it more towards a fuller state and hold it. And then you let the breath out slow, smooth. You have the option to stay empty for just a little bit extra. And then you inhale when you're ready, all the way to that full, and hold it. And when ready, exhale all the way to empty, hold it. Be here another 10 breaths, just letting each round grow. Notice that each successfully completed 4-part breath has trained your mind to be more present, more here and now. Last, maybe 5, 6 breaths. And then staying in that sense of meditation and breathing, just gently open the eyes, but don't lose that quality of watchfulness and inward curiosity. Our next exercise is that spinal movement. Hands on your thighs, slide those hands forward, drop the head, round back gently. And then slide your hands back and lift the chest and arch the back. Pull the elbows back. 3 more. Sliding hands forward, noticing any little wiggles, lateral little movements that you want to do to loosen up some tension. And sliding hands back. And 2 more. Last round. And after you finish there, settle to the middle, right into your soft flowing twists where the hands stay on their respective leg. We slide left hand to left knee, right hand up to right hip, and turn and look over the shoulder. And then slide back and change sides. Just allow for that rotational quality. Now on this next one, as you turn to your right, take the left hand to your right knee and get a little extra twist just to hit that edge. And then release that, switch sides. Take right hand to left knee. And back to center. Arms hang alongside you. Lean softly to the left. To the right. Left elbow rising, maybe hand floating up, reaching, and then droop that hand down and let's switch. Side bend. And back. Side bend. And back. Lean your head, let your head fall to the left. So the whole torso. Let's do one more of each. Notice how the whole torso is leaning. And it doesn't have to lean to any particular place. It just needs to be released so that it goes where it can go. And we're back to center. Shoulder blades. Right shoulder blade up. Melt it down. Left shoulder blade up. Melt it down. Now let's do 3 with both. Up. Melting down. Up. Down. One more. And down. Bring your legs close together so you have nothing in the way here. Right shoulder blade, forward and up, back, circles. Switch direction, same arm, forward, forward, forward. Make sure it's the shoulder blade moving. So Tony, for instance, I see your arm moving, right? But look at my shoulder blade here. And it's the shoulder blade, the shoulder. And then the shoulder has to sink. So there has to be this change in what's happening between neck and shoulder, neck and shoulder, neck and shoulder, neck and shoulder. Because it's very easy to have this stay frozen and we're just moving our arm, right? As opposed to the shoulder. It's better. Yeah. So it's got to be that spot there. Let's do that on the other side. So make sure it's that shoulder. And the blade is on our back, but the arm's plugged into that shoulder blade. So when I move my shoulder blade, yeah, the arm goes and the elbow moves and the hand and wrist move through space, but it's because that blade is moving. All right, switch directions, up, over, down. So make sure you're doing it on that same arm, which is the other direction. So I think you guys should be on your left arm at this point. Now we double it. We lean a little forward. Notice the chest sort of sinks. And then rise, come back, and down, and find neutral. Forward now. This time as your shoulder blades rise, let your elbows come up, but the hands and wrists stay relaxed. Shoulder blades back, elbows obviously follow, and then the hands drape and fall back to neutral. Forward and up, back, and down. Feel the whole wheel, the wheel-like motion. Wheeling, complete circles. Back to neutral. One more. And we reverse. Back, up, roll, over, down. Complete the circles. Back, up and over. Back to neutral. So remember, back first, and then up and over. One more. And finish. Alternate. Right, left. Make sure it's your shoulder blades. So it's not just the hands going like this. These are totally relaxed. Shoulder blade, shoulder blade, shoulder blade, shoulder blade. Switch directions. Forward, shoulder blade, shoulder blade. And center. Step your legs a little wider. Take your left hand, right knee, lean so the arm hangs, spirals. Start small, get larger. Larger, larger still. I believe it was last week I was talking about eventually you really want to pay attention to the sort of artfulness of the spiral. The hand, right? You can see in my hand motion, it's finishing all the way through the fingers. All the way through, rather than a frozen arm that I'm just turning. So it's all the way around. There's this artful quality. Now, as you sit upright, you can lean this leg in a little bit so you can actually cross the middle and get a really nice circle. And then again, you cross the middle and circle. One more. Cross. And up and over. And relax it. Oh, no, and then this is the additional one I was showing. So now we hold it in space and make very small finger circles, wrist. So like you're drawing a little circle on the wall and then you're spiraling, spiraling, larger, larger. And release that arm down. Let me go the other way. So that was an outside circle. Now we go in. Spiral. Again, noticing the hand and wrist, the sort of artful quality of the whole organism, right? Then you sit upright, and now you actually come across middle a little bit, get that leg out of the way so it can drop through. So eventually, this is one we do standing, so the legs aren't in the way. So we're trying to make up for that. Last one. Now bring it up and draw the circle in the other direction. Fingers, wrist, forearm, upper arm, and release. Let it dangle. Switch. Hang it. First direction, start. Drawing that small circle, circling. Remember the artful quality. All the way through, getting larger, larger. Then sitting upright and coming across the middle to the outside. Yeah. And then across, and then out. So tracing those fingertips. One more. Now you come out here and hold there and then make small circles. Fingers, wrist, and then it gets into the forearm, upper arm, like a conductor. And release the arm, let it swing, let it hang, let it relax the other way. So same arm in the other direction. Larger, 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 eventually sitting upright, and now you actually come across your midline and then down. Get your leg out of the way so it can flow through, cross, through. And finally, bring that arm up and hold it in space, and fingers, wrist, forearm, upper arm in through the torso, and release. Let it hang. Legs together, both. Start circling, circling, circling larger, spiraling, spiraling, sitting upright, bring the arms across, across, and out. 3 more. Cross, you can change which one's on top as you come up and over. Cross. Last one, we cross, come out, and hold there, and circles. Small circles. And release. Final time. Inward this time. So before we went out, now we're coming in. 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 Getting larger, larger, larger. Now sitting upright. Large circle, crossing slightly, and then out and down. Crossing slightly, out and down. And up in the air, hold them there, and small circles. And release. Now there's often a bit of that achy quality there. So we release that by opening the palms and turning palm forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. That's pronation and supination. How quickly can you do it? Sort of like, and then other side. You let the arm hang by your side while you do it, just hanging down by your side. Then bend the elbow, bring the hand up and do it. Then bring the other hand up with it, both down low, and then sink the chi to your belly. And release down. Fold at the elbow, touch. Fold at the elbow, touch. Alternate. Soft, easy, precise. Right? So try not to have extra stuff going on that doesn't need to happen. Right? Just simple movement. Both now, up. Last one, up and stay up. Chicken wing. Out. Down. In. Squeeze. And notice when I'm in, I'm not lifting my elbows any more forward than they must go. Out. In. Now, elbows back. Crack a walnut with your shoulder blades. down with the elbows, and then forward. Can they keep going forward so you can actually get your arms right alongside your head and your hands on your back, and then drop those elbows back, down, forward and up, down. One more, back, down, forward and up, and release. Palms down, up, down, up. Now palms up, leave them up, bring them in. One hand just goes above the other, so there's this cradle. Then open, all the way open. And then in, and there's that cradle. And then open, all the way open. One more of each. Internal rotation of shoulder, neutral, external. From external towards neutral, then all the way to internal. And finally all the way back out. Now, bend at the elbows, turn the palms over, one hand crosses above the other, and the hands come down. Then same hand crosses as we bring the hands up, roll all the way open. Bend the elbow, the hand comes up, cross, the other hand over top and down. And then same hand cross as you go up, roll open, out. Again. Notice that's one smooth gesture. Smooth gesture. It has the circle quality. They're coming up on the inside part of a circle and then going down the outside part of a circle. And going up the outside, crossing each other, and there's the inside part of the circle. Sort of like Venn diagram, circles crossing each other. Now, left hand only, up over the rainbow all the way and hover it just above right palm, and then reverse. This is all those same movements, just a little more range challenge for the moving arm, shoulder. Helps to open the back. One more of each. And release down. Finally, wrists. Hands float up. Turn your palms up-ish. Fold over the top and out. Now let's add, not only are the wrists moving, but start to feel the fingers. Right? So this sort of crane, see these, how they look a little bit like bird feathers. They have this sort of bird feather quality. So when you come through, feel this fold in the hands, right? All of that as you come through. So it's not frozen hand and a wrist turning. That's how we start. But over time, it's that artfulness of the fingers rolling through. Great. And then we go the other way. Same idea. They sort of fold up like bird feathers and roll out. And finish. And then with the hands, open your palms forward. So we open wide. And now right in the center, the Lao Gun point, close that up and see if you can create this bird beak. Right? And that's ideally the thumb being touched by the pinky, the ring, the middle, and the index, all. And then open, spread. And then like you're reaching those fingers out to clasp something and bring them all to the thumb. And then release, beak. Release, open nice and wide, 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 and then beak. Release, and crane beak. Release, now claw. See these claws here. And then follow that all the way into a soft Tai Chi fist where there's some space inside there. And then open. And then we claw into a Tai Chi fist. And a Tai Chi fist, we never compress it so that everything feels compressed. There's space, a little bit of space in there. 2 more. Claw, Tai Chi fist, and open. Claw, Tai Chi fist, open, and relax. Let's do again that same exercise we did a moment ago. Little jazz hand, shucka, 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 and then shucka, 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 and then up like you're saying bye, bye, and then both, and down both. Sing Chi. Scoot to the back of your chair so you're nice and stable. Soft Tai Chi fists. Chamber, push. Chamber, down. Chamber, push. Chamber, down. Keep going. Chamber, push. Chamber, down. Chamber, push. Chamber, down. Chamber, push and hold. Point, flex, point, flex. Keep going. Evert, invert, little in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Circles, in and circle. Out and circle. And set it down. Switch, chamber, push, point, flex, point. Invert, evert, a little in, out. Inward circles. Outward circles. And reverse. Set it down. Scoot forward all the way to the front edge. Swivel steps. Lift left ball of foot. Swivel out. Lift the heel. Swivel internally. Heel goes out. Swivel out. Internal and open. Walk it in. Internal. External. Internal. External. Neutral. 2 more. Flow. External. Internal. Little heel toe steps out. And heel toe steps in. 1 more. Open. And neutral. Other leg. External. Internal. External. Internal. Open. Internal. Walk it all the way back in. 2 more. Middle. 1 more. Hold. And we are back. Now, do them together so they start close in this internally rotated position. So let the heels float out. Your pigeon toed, you're sort of like drawing the knees towards each other. And then we lift the toes and open the knees and toes. Lift the heels in, and then 1 more open. Then we go internal, external, closed. Open, close, open, close, open, close. 1 more. Step back to this neutral position. So the last one we'll do with our legs, this one I've been adding. bring them a little bit close together actually. So we lift the leg like we're chambering it, externally rotate it, and then set it down. So it's like a little semicircle. So again, out to in. Then we do the other leg. So it's from this in position, we rise and step it out. And then reverse that. A little semicircle in. This is another one we're going to be working on in the gait class. While standing, we work on doing this and making these circles, but when we're standing, we can actually complete the circle. So this is sort of ABC version of something that we're going to get a more complex exercise with at some point. Last one. And good. Now step back to neutral. Bowing, folding at the hips. Then that addition of swivel on the hands, point your elbows out beyond the shoulders a bit. And then come back to neutral in the middle. And here, lean back from the hips, like you're trying to lay back in a chair behind you. Lean back a bit. And then come back to neutral. Fold from hips. Swivel on hands if you like that additional shoulder bringing out version. And then we sit back to vertical and lean back like you're trying to lean back into a chair behind you or a bed behind you. And then back to center. One more. This one helps us really make sure we're able to move from our pelvic leg relationship. So we have that movement at our disposal. Now, back to neutral, this has a different quality. Chest and chin lift. So now that's spinal extension or back bend. As you fold, keep the back bend. But then as you get down there, slide the hands to the ankles and feet and spinal flexion, round. Stay rounded as you lift from the hips. So you should still be in this sort of rounded position. And then once you get to the top and to the middle, then you let the chest lift, chin lift, elbows come back, and you finish that feeling almost like this serpentine undulation all the way to the crown. Now keep the arch back as you fold, and then as you slide the hands, rounding the back, and release the head. Now keep the head and back released and rounded as you come up, and then let that undulation continue all the way to the top of the head. And let's do a couple more. Shaking loose the heavenly pillar. "24 vertebrae, each of which is getting just a light little shake loose. Little barnacles releasing. One more. And now we are upright. Take a moment. This next one puts pretty much all those together, including what we just did with our hips and legs. Step wide. Establish a nice wide space here between your legs. Fold at the hips. Notice the arm position, nice and sturdy. And then as you keep folding the hips and then round the back gently. Stay there and then come up and lean back and arch the back. And then forward with a slightly arched back, set the arms, fold between the legs, and then round. And even release the head like you're trying to look back underneath between your legs. And then rise, spine undulating and slightly leaning back. And then forward. And then up and back. And just do one more. Whole movements. This is what the body yearns, the brain yearns for. is complete movement. Now, the next time you're up and back, tip, fold, and swoop on through. The dragon stirs the sea. Stirs the sea. And just notice the arms. When we're in this position, we're getting this deep fold on the wrists, the elbows. There's a turn through the shoulder joint. There's all these circles and spirals being experienced. Let's do one more, so there's 4 each way. Notice, of course, the hips and leg bones are making circles. Let's go the other way. But as well, especially as we have a looser and looser back and spine, all those 24 vertebrae are just like very gently rolling around each other. So their relationship with each other is being established as one of circular, spiral relationship, not like frozen hinge joints, which is how most of us experience our body, especially as we age. Our interesting movements get less and less and less and less, and then we become just rigid, right? So let's come back to the middle. Sink, let those arms hang. Wings. Spin the palms so they face up and go uppity, 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 up. Now reach your right arm higher than your left. Go for it. And then soften it back. And then the left arm reaching higher and soften. And right arm reach and soften. Left arm reach and soften. And then both arms reach and wings. Both arms forward, up, lift chest, lift chin, look up. Back bend. And then hands forward, down. Sink chi to the belly. Like a stone dropping through a pond slowly. And as the hands get to the belly, navel area, belly button, the stone is landing at the bottom of the pond. The mind is that stone, resting in that middle. Keep connected to the middle. Open the eyes, the hands just rest alongside you. Slide your feet back just a bit, standing and sitting. Keep your awareness of your middle, because your middle is the only important thing, really. Right? The head goes out beyond, and now my middle is no longer sitting in my chair. Now I'm standing. Everything else soft. Everything else relaxed. Go ahead and sit back down. Just do that 4 or 5 times your own pace. And remember, early on, we're doing ABC version where you're sort of robotic, right? We got to sort of go, G, 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 right? Robot. But over time, you're softer, you're more fluid. It's just liquid. It's just easy. Nothing extra going on. No tightening up here. Why would you? Just makes you top heavy. Sinking soft. Letting that supple spinal column round and open as needed, right? So like here, there's a little bit of that rounding. And then everything lines up. Same thing, the tail sneaks out the back. Let me just sink. Now squats. So we rise. Remember the Tai Chi squat is the tail out the back and sinking just enough to make sure our knees are happy. But the back rounds open a little bit because we let these arms hang and then push and rise. So your body's sort of like an accordion, right? It like folds into this position and then unfolds. Let's do that again. So it's this tail out the back a little, and then just let the body fold up, and then unfold all the way back to standing. So your tissue is just kind of gently coming together and gently opening apart. Sing. Now, stay standing. Let your body weight tilt forward. And then back to the middle. And then just a little bit towards the heels. And again, notice as you tilt forward, the hands will naturally just kind of float that way. When you tilt back, they naturally sweep back, especially as we release and release and release. Again, tilt. Now this time, as we tilt back, turn the palms forwardish and let them rise out to the side. Then tip yourself back to your toes, and that will send the arms around like almost like a hug, like a big hug out in front of you. And finish by turning your palms like this, like if you were holding water in your hand, kind of like that. Then rock back to the heels. Your hands come in. You're bringing in towards the mouth, so the upper entry point, down towards the middle entry point, or middle tank. And then Tai Chi squat. Tail sneaks out. This is that song. We're softening through to the earth. Then push through to the earth with the feet to rise back to the middle, and we've completed one Sink Chi wash organs. We do it again. From the middle, we can rock back. So we rock a little back and start the hands, palms face forward and rise. So that starts a circle. We carry through that circle with this big round gather gesture. Like you're holding water in the palms, rock back and bring in through the upper entry point and down to the tank in the middle. Tail sneaks out the back. And we soften, 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 just to the depth that feels good, and then push through to the earth to rise, stand. From the middle, we can rock back. That starts the hands. Rock back, hands. Rock forward, sweep around, gather. Palms face slightly up like water in palms. Rock back, there's a drinking in and down. Then through, tail sneaking, sinking the tail, and then we rise. See if we can get that flow. Rock back and start the circle. Rock forward, there's a reach. Rock back, there's a bringing in and down. And then through. Push through the earth and rise. One more. Notice how this has a flow. Let's do two more. Sink chi to the belly. And release the hands down. A couple new movements. Weight slightly shifts to the right leg. Bend that right elbow, right? Just like we worked on earlier, just a soft bend. Middle and index finger are sort of the lead finger here. Reach forward and diagonally across. Notice how your weight changes into your left leg. turn that right palm up. So you sort of corkscrew it up and just let the hand drop. Fold at the elbow. We're all loaded. We go again. Across. Let the hand drop. Make sure it goes to a 0. Fold. And then reach. Turn the palm up. Let it fall. Fold. Reach. And reverse. Fold. Reach. Reverse. Notice there's a natural weight change happening, and there's a natural turning of what's called the waist, which in American, sort of Western thinking, we think of the hip sockets. When someone says your waist, you think of the pelvis. But in the Chinese thinking, it's the lumbar spine. It's when the body is relaxed, this lumbar, this low back right behind the navel, that section is a very important turning point. Good. Now, same arm, same turning of waist. We bring the hand across underneath and up, and then we're coming up over the top, sort of like you're drawing a circle on the wall right in front of you. Let your arm hang. Then turn and come across, reaching. Then we're going up and across to the other side. Notice there's that natural weight change happening from leg to leg. When we reach this way, if you let it, you're naturally in your left leg. And then as you trace across, naturally in the right leg. Again. It's a set of movements that comes from the Hunyuan Qigong set, which is all about large, beautiful circles, which open up the trapped spaces, the compressed spaces. 2 more. Easy as can be. This whole set, the whole Hunyuan set especially, can be executed with 0. Let's do 1 more. 0 Li, or tension strength, and it can be executed with all liquid. Now, the other arm, we shift over to it, just bend the elbow, lead through index and middle finger, and we're reaching forward and across at a diagonal. Finish it, turn the palm up, let that arm fall, and it hangs at a 0. Bend the elbow, it loads back up, and then it's just reach, and then let it come down underneath that part of a circle. Fold, reach. Feet are softly connected to the earth. There's, of course, a weight change happening. There's some movement of the hips, but there's also that waist. Feel your Mingmen, your door life, behind the navel, that section of your spine that they say closes for us. The door of life is closing. In these trainings, open them. Open the door up. And keep that mobility. Notice that finished quality, right? Where we go all the way to the end and then it just comes around. So it's not retracing its step. It's finishing a complete journey. Now the other exercise, come across the middle and up to that corner. And then trace a circle on the wall in front of you and the arm ends up alongside you. Shift and reach. Turn, big circle. Shift and reach. Nice big circle. Keep going. How much softness can you be cultivating with these movements? Is there anything extra going on that you can just drop? Just be your most basic, settled, in your most basic state. And then from there, executing movements. 2 more. Now we double it up. So bend right elbow. As it reaches across, we finish. As we turn that palm up and it starts falling, bend the other elbow. And now we're ready to reach. And as that drops, we fold the other, reach. As it drops, you fold the other, reach. As it drops, fold the other, reach. Find that waist. Notice the waist is the middle. From the middle, you execute these movements. And it's like a sort of a shooting, shoot, and then fall. So it shoots to that corner and then drops. Remember to finish it, turn it. As it falls, bring that up. Finish it, turn palm up. As it falls, the other hand comes up. Finish. Finish. Now, let that left hand fall and we go across, draw that circle, other hand across, draw that circle, other hand across, draw that circle, cross, draw that circle, draw that circle. Keep going. And finish that. So that's a little module. And Qigong sets, or forms, if you will, are made up of multiple modules. So that means there's this movement, and then there's usually a complementary movement, and then that gets put next to something else and something else and something else. So one other little set, step a little wider than normal. Turn your feet just a little bit out. Knees just a touch bent. Bring your hands over to one hip. The hands go away from that hip and around. And then in close to the hip. Stay in close to the body as you turn. The hands go over through. Then they go away, around, in, and through. So notice a little bit of a natural weight shift is happening. The hips and the Ming Men, the waist, are turning. And we're making very sort of interesting circles with the body. With many parts of the body. The other thing is, with the legs a little wide and the knees a touch bent, this area here, the groin or the quad, we're able to challenge. So as we're reaching over here, naturally this knee will try and collapse, but if we can practice opening that, we're actually opening this quad. And then as we come around, same thing on the other quad, right? We're opening that. We're not letting them stay glued and collapsed. So something simple like this, but we're actually training very important biomechanics. And on a Qi level, we're stirring the belt meridian, which is at navel height around, Ming Men and navel. Turn. Now let's add, go left hand, right hand. So now they're big, and then cross that left hand underneath, and as it comes through, that right hand comes over top. So now we're going kind of a helicopter. stirring. And it's like we're spinning a grinding table, right? So it's like my hand is pushing along the outside of a grinding table, and my other hand is coming around and keeping it moving. And we're trying to get this table to go, right? And we're spinning it. Last one, we come into that hip and pause. Now start small, other way. So the hands are going away from the body, off the left hip. The hands, at first, we make them be sort of symmetrical to each other. So we're not doing the 1-1, the helicopter yet. But notice we can make this circle very close to us. And then on the next one, it can get a 1/2 inch away further, or a 1/4 inch. So the same movement growing. Another bit that we're feeling here is that when my hands go further out, my body doesn't go with it. My Mingmen, my waist, my center stays where it is in space. And so I'm actually creating more opening for the back and for the shoulders. So my fulcrum, my pivot stays where it is in space. All right, take it to the helicopter version. 1, 2, and then that one tucks under and leads the way across. And then the other one is coming around. Couple more. Find your fulcrum. And we bring it in. Bring your feet closer together. Sink chi to the belly. Now the closing sequence from the navel, spiraling out and then back into that navel. So we go up, over, down. That's 1, 2, getting larger, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We do 18 of these, getting larger, larger, staying on the section of the belly. So at most, we're going top of the belly area, lower front ribs, side, down to the genital and pubic bone region, perineum region, right? 16, 17, 18. Now we reverse and do 12, feeding back in. 1, large to slightly smaller, 2, 3, 4. Keep going, getting smaller, smaller, right around the navel. 9, 10, 11 should be really small. Really, really small. Sealing the belly button there. Unfold the hands. Rub the palms. Back of one hand, palms. Back of other hand, palms. Then pause, feel that healing warmth between the palms, and place over the eyes and the front forehead brain area. Sort of feeding goodness in. Then like you're cleaning a windshield, just slide the hands apart from each other. And let's do that one more time. Pause, feel the warmth. Place over the eyes, front brain. And slide apart. Rub. Now we do cheeks up and down with the fingers like so, framing the eye. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, middle finger, out the eyebrow, in the cheekbone. Circle, 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 circle. Soft, very light touch. So we're not pressing into our face. Then reverse that circle, in the eyebrow, out the cheekbone. Circle, 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 circle. Then thumbs rest on the temples, soft circle, circle. Then thumbs rest, index knuckle, drag open across, dredge open across the third eye and the eyebrow. And then tiger claw through the hair and back, through the hair and back. Thumbs go to the base of the skull, right along that ridge line, rub in and out, in and out, in and out. Clear that space. Then palms on the neck go up, 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 up. Pause. Opposite hand to side of neck. Rub the side, the base, that C7 vertebra, and then right along the back ridge. And switch. Side of neck, base of neck, back of neck. And release the arms and bring them right back up with scissors. Scissor cut, circle the ears. So cut and circle. Then watch what I do here. Plug, drum, drum, drum. Then, so it's plug and unplug. Soft. Jaw to chin, release. Back up, third eye, above the lip, below the lip. Switch. Back of hand, side of neck. Tiger's mouth, throat. Soft. Thumbs down the central channel. Down the central channel. Down. Make a little fist. Lung point 1 and 2. Shoulder. Right in that little nook. It should be mostly chest and just that little space there. So we're not doing our shoulder, doing more the chest, but right in that nook, and then shoulder. Make this little grab here. Front ribs, liver, and spleen in towards your sternum. Interlace fingers. Chest, heart. Stacked palms right on your stomach, just below the rib cage. Solar plexus. Switch hands. Solar plexus. Inguinal, groin, pubic region, genital area, this whole sort of crease right in there. And then trace over the hips and back, sacrum and tail and hips, right? Love handle hips there. And then make fists, lumbar spine with your knuckles, thumbs up the middle of the back, and then palms on the buttocks. Now, watch here. We come around to the front, thumbs on the inside, middle finger squeezing on the outside, and dredge these channels down, then sweep around to the inner ankle, come up softly with the hands up past the groin, go around, so we come up soft, go around, rub the sacrum, come around to the front and dredge channels with a bit of a squeeze, and then sweep the hands around to the inner ankles, come up smooth. One more. Tail, come around, dredge. Around, come up. Last gesture. Left hand goes up the outer arm to the shoulder, turn that palm up, down to the past fingertips. Up the outer, turn the arm, down. Up, down. Up, down. Bounce. Bring legs in, out, shake. Heel up, other heel up, run in place, shake your booty, shake your tail, shimmy, shoulders, ragdoll wrists, jazz hand, hands, and then this one's a little tricky, but spiral shake. And 3 sink chi wash organs to finish. Back, up, around, forward, back and into the mouth and down to the belly. Tail sneaks out the back. Tai Chi crouch. 2 more. Last one. Sink chi to belly and close. Seal. Taoist bow. Thanks, everyone. Make sure your chair is where you think it is. Have a seat. Be still. If you have some time in between whatever's next to just be absolutely nothing at all, that would really take your practice and make it supremely nourishing to just be still of mind, still of body. I know many of you have to wander off, so you feel free to just wave and leave. If you have any questions, I'm happy to chat for a bit. You have to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Otto.
Yeah.